here because you're definitely going to want to come on out. I'm excited about this cooking segment today because we have so much to talk about. This is Chef Tim Crean with Cuvée Bistro. First, tell us a little bit about your restaurant.
Cuvée Bistro is in the old Cuvée Beach location on Highway 98, almost the midpoint between Destin and Sandestin. Okay. So easy to find, right across from the Destin Commons, just a little bit further to the right.
And you guys are participating in the Destin Seafood Festival.
We are. This year they decided to put together a celebrity chef stage, and so participating chefs in the area, Jim Richard from Stinky's Fish Camp and Jim McManus from Legendary. We're going to come out and have a chef stage, and we're going to do a 30-minute demonstration and presentation on, seafood-related items and the things that we cook in Destin.
Sure. More throughout the show on that. Now we have to talk about what we're going to make today. Tell us what the name of this is and give us that backstory about the name of this dish.
Well, this is Grouper Vince, and it's a dish that I've been doing for many, many years. It's in both my cookbooks. I served it at Beach Walk at the time that I owned that, and Vince Gill and Amy Grant came into the restaurant one day and had dinner and said, Tim, we really enjoyed dinner. Could you do our wedding? And I said, sure, not a problem. Let me check my calendar. So I said, when is it? They said, in 15 days, and it's going to be for between 350 and 500 people. I said, not a problem.
Wow, so that's a lot to tackle real quickly there.
It was. So we hauled up to Nashville, did the event. It went fabulous. They're great people. And then Extra beat me back down to Destin. And they did a whole story. And I learned part of the story that I didn't know about was that they had already hired a caterer, but after tasting my food, they replaced him with me, and hence the dish Grouper Vince was selected by Vince for the wedding.
You have to name it after him then.
Well, what happened was people came down to the restaurant after seeing Extra and just put the menu down and said, we want what Vince had. Right. And so for our staff's sake, we changed the name to Grouper Vince to simplify it for everybody.
That's fantastic. So I'm excited. Tell us what we're going to use today.
Okay, we got some beautiful fresh Destin grouper. We're going to be making a milk wash from our patented instant marinating grilling sauce, Chef's Grill Plus, which we're going to mix with the milk and make a milk wash. The grouper will go in there. Some pecan flour, which is seasoned, and then we'll pan saute that. All right. Well, that's finishing off in the oven. We're going to make a honey Worcestershire sauce, which is Worcestershire sauce, honey, and a little bit of veal stock, thickened with cornstarch and water, a slurry, and then we're going to serve it over a mashed potato cake, which we coat in some panko breadcrumb, and finish off in a deep fryer, and then put it all together, and it's just fabulous.
My mouth is watering. So when we come back in the next segment, we're going to have to really get going on this, get it all started. Grouper Vince is the dish. More on
Studio 10. We are in the kitchen this morning with Chef Tim Crean from Cuvée Bistro, talking about the Destin Seafood Festival, and we are cooking up today something that looks especially fun. We have Grouper Vince.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, very excited because we have everything all laid out nicely for you so you can really get an idea of what goes into it. Well, let's go ahead and get started with this.
You got it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make a milk wash, and this is just a way you do a lot of batter and fried items. We actually are using today an instant marinade and cooking sauce that I patented back in the mid-90s called Grill Plus. And the beauty of it is all the seasonings are measured and in there, so it kind of takes some of the guesswork out of that.
That makes it easier when it's already mixed up for you.
It sure does. So, but to make the milk wash, we're going to use 2 parts of milk, and some people like to use buttermilk, some people even like to use water for milk washes. So any of those will work.
When you say 2 parts, what do you mean 2 parts?
I'm doing twice the milk that I am to the Grill Plus.
Okay.
So if we were doing a cup of milk wash, we'd have a half cup of Grill Plus and a cup of milk.
Okay.
So that just kind of gives us the mixture that we need, blend that all together. And if we were going to fry shrimp, catfish, calamari, chicken, it would all go into this mixture and then into your flour or corn flour mixture, whatever it is that you want to fry in your end product.
Okay, how important is it to have good spices in what you're going to mix in for what you're frying it in?
Well, it's important because that's going to be integrated into the flavor of the dish. Some people like to season after the fact, but seasoning doesn't always stick real well to fried foods.
Right.
Sure, as soon as it comes out of the fryer, the oil will attach to it, but as soon as that starts to dry up, it doesn't. So I like to pre-season whatever my batter is going to be, because that becomes integrated into the food, so it's important.
Okay, so it sounds good. All right, so now we need to take our fish, right?
Yeah, now we take our grouper. It's a beautiful grouper fillet, which of course nice, indigenous to the Destin area, and we're going to put this into our milk wash, and just make sure we coat each side lightly. All right, let all the excess run off. Now this is pecan flour with a little bit of regular white flour, and people get confused. They have this dish and they want to go replicate it, and they're like, oh, I'm just going to get some pecans and grind them up and put them in flour. Well, that won't work, actually.
No, okay.
Because the pecans themselves will burn.
Oh.
When they mill pecans, a dust is created, and that's what we're calling pecan flour.
And we can get that anywhere? Is it
There's
easy
a company
to find?
called, it's not easy to find, but you can get it, and of course the internet these days makes everything so easy. But J.W. Renfro, which is going to be on the recipe, which I'm sure they can get on the Fox News website or at mine website, timcrean.com. You could order it online, and that's the easiest way to get it. But I have seen it in some specialty stores.
Okay.
Which are looking for pecan flour, not pecans in flour.
In flour. Good
Right.
to note the difference. So after we've coated it with all of that, now it's ready. But we
That's
need to
ready
get our
go.
pan ready?
And we got our pan hot. It's always important when sauteing or stir frying, hot pan, cold fat, or cold oil will keep things from sticking. So it's really important if we've preheated the pan, I've got it on high, and let that oil come up to temperature. You can use canola oil here. You can use a butter oil blend. Really, anything you typically use as your fat medium for sauteing will work for this.
Okay.
And then just make sure you get your pan good and hot. I'm going to take the temperature up just a little bit. I've got flour all over my hands now. And then we'll just toss that in there, and we want to get a good brown on one side.
But you don't want you to have your oil in here going for a long time before you put your fish in.
Correct. Once
Okay.
you have get your pan hot, put it in. You can start to hear it and see it getting hot. You can feel it. If you start to see a little smoke come up, that's got a little bit too hot. Slide it off the burner and then let it cool just a little bit. But this right here should be fine.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we'll put that on and get that started.
Yep.
And then we are going to come back and do the rest of this recipe, which actually, even though you just started cooking, it smells really good.
Good.
Yeah, it smells really good. All right.
Back in our great kitchen set with Chef Tim from Cuvée Bistro. We are finishing up our grouper events. Tell the folks what we did during the break.
We put the grouper in the oven, 400 degrees, for about 7 to 8 minutes, so it's browned up nicely. It's ready to go. We made our honey Worcestershire sauce, which is simply veal stock, Worcestershire, honey, and a little bit of cornstarch and water, a slurry to thicken it up.
Sounds really
And
good.
that's all set to go. Of course, our potato cake we made in advance. That's garlic mashed potatoes, which we cool down, press into panko breadcrumbs, deep fry that, and you can hold those in a warm oven for quite some time.
Sounds delicious.
So we take the grouper, we put it right on top of the potato cake,
Ah.
and then take our sauce, which has got a nice thickness to it. We'll put that on there.
Look
And
at
then
that.
A little garnish, some chive, parsley, whatever you got fresh in the garden. And hey, voila, there it is.
Wow, that looks incredible. And this is one of the things perhaps people can get if they come out to the Destin Seafood Festival?
Yeah, we're going to have a celebrity cooking stage, and we're going to be doing this dish along with some other dishes from different chefs. We're actually going to be giving out free samples of our Grill Plus at the event, and it's going to be, the Destin Seafood Festival is always a great event, but it's going to be an added addition with the celebrity cooking stage.
Free admission. If I'm watching right now, what do I need to know to come on out and make plans? Do I need to know times, anything like that, where I should go? What do I need to know?
Starts Friday afternoon and goes all day Saturday and Sunday and finishes up early evening on Sunday. So it's a whole weekend.
Right, and we're talking about next weekend.
It's actually September 30th,
September 30th.
through October 2nd.
There we go. All right, real quickly, you also have some books here. What's this all about?
My third cookbook is released just last December, Exceptional Taste. My second one's the one that we're doing the group events out of, where Vince and Amy Grant have a signed photograph inside of there. Just been publishing cookbooks throughout my years in the restaurant business, and it's just something you can find at our restaurants or at my website, timcrean.com.
All right, well, there you have it. Grouper Vince, we're going to attack this thing after the show for sure. I can guarantee you this looks so great. Thank you so much for coming in this morning all the way from Destin. You drove all the way from Destin.
Sure did.
All right, appreciate it.
We
Thanks for
enjoyed
coming
it.
on the show.
Thank you very much.